This is a deep dive high performance podcast. We're going to be deep diving into different projects. We're going to deep dive into one of my own projects, one that I have my business partner, John, here, and we're going to deep dive on an RV park. Welcome, John McGaugh. Full disclosure, this is my business partner, but it's also somebody that I look up to and admire. Very happy to have been able to get to partner up with him. Welcome to the show, John McGaugh.
Thank you, Alex. I guess we'll be talking about the Lake Fork project, one of my favorite projects. I got 5 RV parks now. This will be my 5th one. One in Oxford, Iowa, another one on the Cincinnati River, Mineral Wells, and then Ennis, Texas, which is my most expensive, most luxurious one. That should be finishing up pretty soon. That's 97 RV spots. We're pouring concrete right now. It's going real well. So that's one. It's on I-45 right there underneath the water tower next to the Buc-ee's. So let's dive into this Fork project, my next favorite project, because I love fishing. I love the fishermen. I love the atmosphere of it. I just wish I had time to do more of it.
Isn't that for sure? So the project that we're talking about specifically, it's where?
Lake Fork. Lake
Fork is in Texas. And where is that in comparison to a big major metro?
It's an hour and 45 minutes outside of Dallas area. And since I come from the area around DFW, it takes me about an hour and 45 minutes. So that's, about the center of both cities. It's a nice little drive. You have a lot of people that come from there to do fishing and Lake Fork is the #1 fishing lake in Texas. So I don't know. People may come from as far as away from Oklahoma and other places just to fish this lake. They hold 14 of the top 20 state records. I know back when I was hanging out with some of the other fishermen that there was one place in Florida that had a bigger bass than Texas. So it's a fantastic lake. With our research, we found that, some of the purses can be up to $210,000. That's bass boats, trucks. Actually, I think one of them gives away 3 bass boats for that event.
And that's surprised that they win just for going out and bass fishing right here near Dallas.
That's right.
So we have this project. And so we talked a little bit about your resume, but you've really been focusing more lately on specifically RV park. Correct. And really gotten not only skilled up, but educated up and getting tons more experience by working specifically in RV parks.
Right. So we were in ARVIC, which is the Outdoor Hospitality Group. They had a conference in Orlando, and it's interesting from what happened with COVID, the movement of people wanting to get out and wanting to, just get out of the cities, get out of the rat race and just enjoy it. And of course, a lot of families wanted to get away from other people just because, it seemed like it was pretty serious, this COVID thing. And, a lot of people bought RVs. KOA reported that in 2021, they expected 2.4 million new campers, and that's RVers or whatever. And what they got was 10.7 million in 1 year. So, of course, you heard all the stories that the RV places couldn't keep up with the demand. And of course, that's leveled off now. And we've got some people returning the RVs, which is great for me, I hope. And here's why I say that. I want to buy a new RV. I want to buy a Class C or Super C, but that's not the case. That's not they are returning them, but as soon as they come in, they go out. I've been watching for me a new one. It doesn't take but 2 weeks for that to come in and go out. So, I was kind of hoping that it would slow down a little bit, especially on the diesel and the gas RVs or Super Cs or Class A's, but that hasn't slowed down. Some of the trailers have slowed down of purchasing, but so people, it's just the people that said, I'm not going to pay these retail prices. I'm going to pay, a used price. And another thing, it seems to me, and I've got this advice from a lot of people, is to buy used, because when you buy new, you got to work out the bugs. So I'm hoping that we find one soon and it stays there long enough for us to get it, right?
And your project at Lake Fork that we're working on, can we talk about that one specifically?
Sure, let's do.
Okay, great. So that's 20 acres.
Correct. Now, of course, you found this. This is the way I tell most people that you called me and said, "Hey, John, we got a great deal at the car wash. They got a advertised car wash here," and I tell you, Alex, what do you mean a car wash? We don't want a car wash. I don't want anything to do with the car wash. Who does? You go, wait a minute. It's got a boat storage, 32 boat storage. I go, okay, you got my attention. But that's not going to do anything. I like Lake Fork. I love it. I know it well. I've been a Texan all my life. And then you go, well, it's got 16 acres behind it. I said, okay, you got my attention, right? And when I go out there, here's the beautiful thing about it. Do you know how much it costs to remove shrubs and trees and all that? It is expensive.
Yeah.
Unless you get to burn it like we did in Ennis, it's a little bit cheaper, but it's $10,000 a month to rent the burner or the blower to burn it without smoke. So there's no trees, right? There's no trees on this 16 acres that we can build on, which saves us a whole lot of money.
And it's actually kind of laid out perfect and square and flat already.
Right. Yeah. The other thing, Alex, about our deal here is, with our dynamic pricing model. Our other partner is Mark, of course, and I was talking to Mark the other day about him meeting with the economic development group there in Wood County.
Yes.
And what's going on, of course, I'm just going to tell the listeners that most of those sites are yearly, right? So when tournaments come, the problem that Wood County has, or that area, you can't come out there with your RV because there's no sites available. And matter of fact, a few weekends ago, I tried to rent something. I called 4 sites and they said, no, we don't rent by the day or weekend or week. Now I go, where's somebody to go? So with the dynamic pricing, and we allow weekly, monthly, and daily rentals, of course, we may do a 3-day minimum, but still, that's going to be a huge benefit to our investors because those tournaments can have hundreds and hundreds of people come out there. And if they have an RV, they can bring it out there. But right now, it's very hard to find a spot. I couldn't find one. They just don't do it. That'll be great for us, our investors, our dynamic pricing model.
One of the big things about us using online booking is it completely takes out 90% of our competition because
Right.
we're not even competing against we're not competing for the same customers. Now,
Yes.
there's 80% of the market that only books online, and only 10% of the market is using online booking. So
Right.
we immediately, as part of that 10%, get 80% of the market. It's just amazing to me. In that entire area, there are, I think, 2 out of the 40 RV parks that will allow online booking, where you can actually book it right there online and you don't have to call them or them call you back, or you send them an email and they call you back, or they might have a fax number on some of these ones. They just have some really outdated business practices. So it immediately makes it to where we don't have hardly any competition. So for example, in Lake Fork, we have competition with 2 RV parks. And as the number of people that comes out there just keeps growing and growing and growing, as Dallas gets more popular, as Texas gets more popular, that's becoming kind of like the Eastern Hill Country over there. We've got the Hill Country in Fredericksburg here in Texas. So if you've heard about these beautiful little Texas towns, that's what's out there. And that's why this area is growing out towards there as well. How many did you say? We've got 400 boat storages within about a mile of us?
No, half a mile. We counted them this week. It might be a little more, but we drove through the one right next to us. We got 32 here right next to us. They're about 100. We drove through there. We counted, up to 89. They had them listed on the top, 89, and there were a few in the back. So, I just rounded to 100 because, some of those numbers were just rubbed off. And then right up the street, there's a new one the other way. This is all within a half a mile. That's a brand new one, and it looks like about 100. So that's 250 right there with ours. And then towards Sulphur Springs, there was another one. Oh, and there's another one right across the street from the boat repair place and the skeeter dealership. So I mean, that's about 400 people storing their boat within, let's just say, in a mile. It's probably more, but I'm being conservative. You store your boat out there, and you come out there for a few days, a week, maybe a month if you can get off, or if you can work from home. And that's another thing. This would be nice if I was a big bass fisherman, and if we have the best internet, which I think we will, because we're going to use Starlink.
That's right.
We've got a guy that's going to put it in. We think we can get 70 down. If I can work from my laptop, let's say part of the day, and then I can hit the lake 2 o'clock, hopefully, sneak out of there, and then hit the lake and do some fishing. I mean, that's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if
that's that lifestyle that people are looking for. Even as housing is in flux and people are moving a lot of people are just opting out of the entire system and buying an RV to just completely opt out. If they need to be at one place for a while, they'll rent a little Airbnb or something for a month, but a lot of times they're on the road most of the year. They'll stay with family for a short time and then go see more family and move to other, especially with the popularity of homeschooling. Taking your kids and homeschooling them in an RV, kids, it's a great way to grow up.
Yeah, it is. And I've talked to quite a few of those type people out there doing research and going to different parks. You just walk up and say, hey, how's it going? What are y'all doing? And met a great couple in Florida at this park was 700 units. They had 3 girls with them, and I asked them, hey, what are y'all doing? How's it going? And they told us they just sold it all, got this thing, bought the truck, and that's what they do. We met some bankers this week, and there was one of the girls' assistants that came out there. She was probably 23. And we were talking about RV parks, and we were at the RV park in Ennis. And she goes, one of my favorite memories of my grandparents is me and them hitting the road in an RV for a couple of weeks during the summer. And she goes, I'll never forget that. Right.
Yeah. It's an amazing way to do it. And I think just the same way that, those little barcodes that you see in restaurants now to get the menu after COVID?
The QR codes?
The QR codes, that's right.
Yeah.
So we could have been doing that 15 years ago. They've had that technology.
Oh, yeah.
Right. We could have done that a long time ago. But as soon as everybody had to do it all at once during COVID, then all of a sudden it became the norm. And that's what you have to do is you have to scan the QR code. It's the same sort of thing with RVs. I think a lot of people were kind of forced into trying it out. They're like, well, let me at least try this out. I mean, at least it's an option. They did it. They fell in love with it. And that's why the sales have just gone through the roof. And I'm telling you exactly what you said. People who have these fond memories of doing it when they were a kid, whenever you're doing that with your kids and you're making those great memories, people want to keep doing that.
Yeah.
So the popularity is going to continue to grow. The more people that try it, the more people are going to love it and do it more and more.
This is what's interesting to me about Lake Fork. I imagine me and another guy going out there, having some beers and fishing. And the more I look into it, the more I talk to people, the more I find out that they're taking their sons out there, their daughters out there, sons and daughters on the boat, and the family, even the wife. I'm like, wow. So it's, I'm thinking it's just the guys going out, but that's way far from the truth. So you pull your RV out there, you got your family. I mean, how awesome would it be to have your 10-year-old pull up a 5-pound bass, right?
Yeah.
You would think it's a shark.
No joke. As big as he was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so the bass out there, they have a hatchery and they have a history of stocking this specific lake. And so the bass just get humongous. They look like, if you ever look at anybody who's watching, if you Google Lake Fork trophy bass and push images, they look like cartoons. They don't look like a real fish. You look at it and you're like, that thing looks so humongous. It doesn't even look like a real fish. And that's what they got. That's that size fish. And so we have the boat ramp only half a mile away from our RV park, the land that we're buying right now. So more deep dive on that deal. Another cool thing is we've got the biggest boat storage units in the area. Yeah, so we're 12 by 36, or so I'm sorry, 16 by 36. So we got some big boat storage units, biggest ones in the area.
Let's talk a little bit about cabins and what our mix is.
So we've got 16 acres in the back that's raw land. That's where we're going to build 100 RV slots. One of the things we've done a ton of research on is how much we can build, because much like apartment buildings or retail or any kind of commercial buildings, you can only build what you can park. There's an equal kind of thing in RV parks. You can only build with how much waste you can get rid of. And I'm talking about sewage. So this is septic tanks. And so we've been doing a ton of research with the engineers and septic engineers on how much water we need to get rid of. So how much septic, so how many units. So that's 100. That's on this back 16. On the front, we're going to be building basically like a phase one. So the first round of funds that comes in, we're going to be putting towards the cabins. That's going to be about 12 cabins. And so we've already got power, water, and sewer run for the car wash. Now we're getting rid of the car wash. It's not a business that we're really interested in having. We've tried a lot of different things as far as keeping the car wash pavilion building so that we could have part of it be an office and the rest could be like picnic pavilions. But we're pretty set on we're just going to get rid of that building. That way we can lay out the cabins in a nice way and have the power, water, sewer already run, put in the cabins and get them rented probably end of Q2 to 2023.
So the boat storage is 100% full, and there's a waiting list. Now, I think there's more need for it because the one right down the street, we need to call them, but I'm pretty sure they're already full. Now, I don't know how new it is, but it looks brand new. I mean, you know the one I'm talking about, the gray and blue one?
Yes.
Yeah, so it looks brand new. It's very nice. It's but yeah,
he's full too.
Is he? So you checked? Yeah, that's what I thought, because that's just a great way to do it. I mean, if you're a real fisherman, a real hardcore fisherman, and most of us are coming from Dallas. Now, how far is Lake Fork from San Antonio or Houston or Austin?
Austin's going to be about 3 hours. Houston's going to be about 4 hours. San Antonio is going to be more like 6, I think.
Okay.
So a little bit far away from those other 3 cities. But the great thing is East Texas is full of a ton of small towns.
Right.
And they drive a long way for everything. So they drive out to East Tech so we have like Dallas concentrated an hour and a half away. And then we have East Texas all spread out with a huge population that's also an hour and a half away. So people can drive an hour and a half and be there at Lake Fork fishing, getting the biggest fish that you can get in Texas, the biggest bass. And also there are a few other draws in the area. We've got it's called the Neon Moon. And so it's this country music venue that is humongous. And they put on these events and get huge crowds that come in. It's got a big backyard type atmosphere, like a big backstage, and it's outdoors, so it has a huge amount of capacity for people to come and see shows there. Anyway, whenever people come there, a lot of people bring their RVs and stay overnight. They'll stay and fish. They'll make a week of it. And so Lake Fork is we're pretty happy that we found this spot, and I feel like we're way early on the development of the area, of being there and getting a good business going.
Yeah, they just they don't have enough spots right now. So we're really positioned. We're in a good position for this. Yeah, so and the way we do investors. So if we get an offer, and let's say it looks attractive enough to send out, we'll send it out and say, here's your return. Here's what you're going to get. Let's say if it's early, before we refinance or before we, get too far down the road. And here's why we say this, because there's a park out there. There's a couple of parks out there. They get at least one offer a month to sell. The reason they're not selling it is because they're making so much money. They just don't want to sell. They're fine. These people are not bothering them, right? And they're yearly. So they're making a lot of money. They're not selling. But if we get an offer, that's not our model. If we get an offer early, we're going to send it out to our investment group and say, what do you want to do? Do you want to sell? Do you want to keep going? In the majority, that's what we do until we get to 5 years, I think that's probably a pretty good time to go ahead and sell. And let's do it again, right?
Well, especially if we refi, a lot of times what we can do is refi at that rate and the still keep the asset and
That's
still
true.
keep some cash flow going, and then maybe sell it in about 10 years. The
Yeah,
long-term goal is to package up 5 or 10 of these at a time and sell them off to private equity firms as a package or a portfolio. So our long-term goals are to have about 150 of those. But at this point, we're focused on this one specific 20 acres to close this one deal.
well, I think that's pretty good, Alex.
So that's a little bit about the project that we have going on at Lake Fork. This has been a deep dive from the High Performers Podcast. My business partner, John McGaugh, he's also our capital markets expert and chief capital markets officer, capital raiser. Smart guy, really great guy to have on our team. Thank you for coming on today. Appreciate it. It's good to sit and talk to you a little bit. If you'd like to get in touch with us, we're going to put our email contacts down in the bios below. John, how do people get in touch with you for email?
John at lsm-associates.com. That's Lima Sierra Mike-associates.com.
John McGaugh, very good. And I'm Alex Alexander. You can reach me at just search Hawaii Landman in any Google. You'll find me on one of the socials or whatever. For me, Alex Alexander, John McGaugh. Great to see you.
Thank you.